Welcome to Flat Ride of the Week, Episode 3. Today I'll be having a casual discussion with Schwarzkopf Fanboy about various Freefall drop towers, mostly centered around Intamin's design as they pioneered the drop tower, but we'll also be looking at some competition they have faced. Also note that we will not be talking about any launch drop towers here, only Freefall towers, as launch towers have a completely different history that will be covered in another video if you're interested. Also, I may be doing more talking than usual, as this is the first and probably the last time we're talking about a flat ride I already know quite a lot about. Let's get started. Alright, so to start with the history, the first gen Intamin towers, or Freefall towers, were introduced in 1982 with the first one going to Six Flags Magic Mountain. The final one was built at Nagashima Spa Land in 1995. They are 131-foot tall towers with a 60-foot vertical freefall and then an additional 30 feet of leveling out. 15 were built, and they are no longer in production. Every tower we're going to talk about from here on out is still in production, though.
So yeah, then we have the second generation Intamin towers, or the Giant Drops. They were introduced in 1995 at Six Flags Kentucky Kingdom. They're still in production. The height and capacity is customizable. Height range from 131 feet or 40 meters to 351 feet or 107 meters. Gondolas always seat 4 people, but depending on the capacity the park orders, it may have as few as 4 gondolas or as many as 6. You can also customize this tower with different kinds of gondolas. For example, stand-up gondolas, tilting gondolas, and also some other, for example, sit-down tilting gondolas. You can have 4 different types of gondolas on your tower. So that's very customized.
And 4 different types, like on the same tower, right?
Yeah, on the same tower.
Alright. And then the third generation Intamin towers, or Gyro Drops, they were introduced in 1998 at Lot World in South Korea. Same height as the Giant Drops, completely customizable, but it can fit more people per cycle. The Gyro Drop can be configured with 30 to 40 seats, and the gondola rotates as it rises to the top of the ride. And then for some other Intamin models, we have the floorless tilting Gyro Drop, which was introduced in 2001 at Six Flags Over Georgia as Acrophobia. And then there's the ring drop, which was introduced in 2003 at King's Dominion. It's the exact same thing as the gyro drop, but the gondola does not spin, and the riders are seated slightly farther from the tower.
The Sky Jump, introduced in 2014 at Busch Gardens Tampa as Falcon's Fury, configurable like the Giant Drop. Riders are taken to the top of the ride where they are tilted 95 degrees facing the ground before dropping. Also comes in a small version that is like a single car from the Giant Drop. There were only 2 built, so as mentioned before, Falcon's Fury and Icarus at Groenland.
And then we have the Giant Drop 8, which is currently the world's tallest drop tower. These are drop towers built onto existing structures. They can be built to literally any height, according to Intamin. An example is Gyro Drop of Doom at Six Flags Great Adventure, which is currently the world's tallest drop tower at 452 feet, or 138 meters. Very tall.
So let's move on to the competition. A lot of other companies made smaller drop towers, like around 115 feet or 35 meters. For example, Fabry and Larsen. Some companies also made taller drop towers like Funtime and Moser Rides. An example for a Moser Rides drop tower is the Mach Tower at Busch Gardens Williamsburg. Funtime made its first freefall in 2013. In 2019, they actually made the tallest freestanding drop tower in the world, Highlander at Hansa Park. It is 393 feet tall and or 120 meters. It has a rotating gondola and the seats can lift a bit. So like 40 degrees or something like that, the seats lift forwards.
Oh, so like a tilting drop tower, like what Intamin makes.
Yeah, but like not as they don't lean forward that much.
Alright, and then for some other interesting facts, the still operating first-gen freefall towers in the world are Demon Drop at Dorney Park, which was formerly at Cedar Point. When it was removed, it was first set to be relocated to Knott's Berry Farm. Somewhere along the way, they changed their minds, and it ended up at Dorney Park. I've actually ridden it there. That's the footage you're seeing now. It's a very, very fun ride. It was, when it operated there, still the best drop tower at Cedar Point.
Yeah, then we have Hollywood Action Tower at Movieland Park in Italy. That park is next to Gardaland, for reference. That tower is formerly known as Drop of Doom at the Edmonton Mall in Canada, the part that has the Schwarzkopf Mindbender. The Freefall tower was replaced by an SNS shot and drop in the mall.
Alright, and then we have Freefall at Nagashima Spaland.
And there's another one in Japan, the Freefall at Himeji Central Park in Japan. That park also has a Batman clone called Diavolo.
And then we have our final freefall in Japan. That's right, Japan has 3 first-gen freefalls at Ritutsu Resort in Japan. And then the middle of some of the Intamin freestanding towers, Gen 2 and newer, have an elevator inside that's used to access the top of the ride, but that is not the case for all of them. For example, Giant Drop at Great America does not, but some of them do.
And last we have Maurer, which also made a good amount of freefall towers. They are made permanent or traveling. 3 of them were made traveling.
Alright, and I think that's it for the video. Do you have anything else to add?
No.
Alright. Well, thanks everyone for watching. The freefall towers are certainly still being built today, still a very popular ride, and I'm very happy for that because they are easily, the Intamin towers especially, are some of the best drop towers in the world. They're true freefall towers. You get so much airtime, especially on those first gens and second gens and third gens. Really good rides, and of course, they're still pumping out drop towers to this day that are even better. Especially with the tilting and all that, all these new things being added to these Intamin towers, it's pretty great. So, go out there, support your local Intamin tower, they're awesome rides, and thanks for watching this video.